Hello Internet, my name is Lave and I watched Dunkirk, which is the most anticipated film of the year for me because, as you know, it's directed by Christopher Nolan, who directed The Dark Knight, Inception, Memento, some amazing films. I know you know that. And I know you know the premise of this film. It's set in 1940 at the start of World War II, where 400,000 Allied troops are stuck in the French coastal town of Dunkirk, and Operation Dynamo is put into effect where civilians are sent out in their fishing boats to go and rescue them. Now, what really surprised me about this film is the way that it's constructed. Essentially, there are three narratives all happening at the same time. The first is credited as being called The Mole, which essentially takes place all on land and on the beach, and all of these events happen over the course of a week and follows the characters played by Fionn, Whitehead and Harry Styles. You've then got another segment which is called The Sea, which follows Mark Rylance's civilian character and his son and another little boy called George, who are fishermen who get on their boat and go and rescue the soldiers, and those events all take place over a day. And the final section is titled The Air, which takes place over the course of an hour and follows Tom Hardy's character, an RAF pilot. Now, all of these story sections are all happening at once and intertwine with each other. Now, I'm really hesitant to say that it's a complete success. I'd be lying if I said I didn't get confused on a couple of occasions. It's just weird to see one character in one situation and then in the very next scene he's in a different situation and it's obviously at a different time. It is quite hard to keep up, but the more I think about it, the more I believe that it is 100% intentional. Nolan has done this to convey how chaotic and disorientating the whole event was. In many ways, it really reminded me of Memento. He did exactly the same thing in that he used the editing and the construction of that film to put you in the same situation as the lead character. So I absolutely believe it is intentional. Now, you could argue that Dunkirk has a lack of character development. Yes, you could say that, but I personally was emotionally invested in all of the characters. There's plenty of emotionally driven, dramatic moments. Mark Rylance's story is very much the heart of the film. He's got a lot of depth to him, which is revealed throughout the film, and Fionn Whitehead's soldier along with Harry Styles' soldier have moments of real dramatic tension, and credit where credit is due. Harry Styles does have to act in this and he does an okay job. I still maybe wouldn't have cast him, but he does okay. And Tom Hardy has the hardest job to do, arguably, because he can only really emote through his eyes and through dialogue. There's very little dialogue throughout this film. It's just a complete experience, which is, oh my god. So yes, I think there is a conversation there that there is a certain lack of character development, but then I don't think the objective of this film is to tell you who these characters are. The objective of this film is to let you experience the event of Dunkirk through these characters' eyes, and it absolutely succeeds at doing that. The best way I can describe it is maybe by comparing it to another war film. So if anyone has seen Saving Private Ryan, I think the majority of people would say that the most memorable moment in that is when you experience the D-Day landing in the first 20 minutes. Now ask yourself this, do you think that that sequence loses any of its potency because you don't know that Tom Hanks's character is a teacher and you don't know any of his platoon? Honestly, no. And the key word there is that you experience the D-Day landing, and that's what Dunkirk is doing. You experience all of the events that happen over the course of a week and a day and an hour through different eyes and through different perspectives. You just instinctively know who these people are and what they've got to do. It's such an immersive and intense experience, complemented by an amazing score by Hans Zimmer. Of course, it's amazing. The cinematography is jaw-dropping, and Nolan is famous for not using CG. He will always do it practically, so you are actually seeing Spitfires have dogfights, you are seeing battleships blow up and sink, you feel every bullet, every ricochet and every Merlin Rolls-Royce engine thundering overhead. It's absolutely awe-inspiring. I watched this at the BFI IMAX in London, the 70mm presentation, and it just blew me away. It's such an assault on the senses. I will say that I did notice the change in format from time to time. I criticised Transformers the last night for doing it, but Transformers did it every second and it was just, oh. This one, it happens on occasions, and I did notice it, but it didn't ruin my experience of the film, which is just absolutely epic and immense. So that's my thoughts on Dunkirk, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. Overall, Dunkirk is a sublime experience in that it's awe-inspiring, it's epic, it is bleak, but then it's also patriotic as well. There is a moment which gave me complete goosebumps where I felt so proud. It was like, yes, you can probably guess why, but oh my god. It's a pretty relentless experience as well. It's not a gory war film, but it's so tense and full of suspense. I was very aware of a chap sitting next to me whose breathing just elevated within the first 5 minutes. He was breathing so heavy because it's so intense, and it just keeps going and going and going. I still haven't decided if it's my favourite Nolan film. No, I don't think it is. Is it the best war film? No, maybe not. Time will tell. Perhaps it's better to think of this as maybe the best survival film. What it unquestionably is an amazing cinematic experience. Please see this on the biggest screen possible. It's absolutely immense. So thanks very much for watching my review of Dunkirk. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the lave. Subscribe.